Good afternoon, grand rise, or wherever it is, what time you are on this globe. It is March the 1st. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, March the 1st. Yes. So I'm in between jobs, busy schedules, and all kinds of things, but I definitely have to get this astrology out because I kind of get swamped, or been getting swamped lately with the touring of DC. So if you're here for the touring of DC, I always tie in astrology to show you really what's going on a more broader, spiritual, universal level, global level, and not just astrology about love and money. There's just so many things going on with astrology, especially this week. We're in the first full week of the Pluto return that will last for 2 years total. And actually, picking back really quick before we go into that, the map of our present, past, and future lives are in astrology, okay? Reading your birth chart is a map of your own personal life. The horoscopes can be for entertainment, but they also can be based on the aspects going on. The aspects are things that planets that are squaring each other, conjuncting, trine, sextile, or opposing. Those are the aspects. And those are what validates or confirms that the real world is really attached to astrology. It's not just for entertainment. It's nothing satanic or devilish. It is really just a prediction of life. Now, sometimes these predictions are tough. Truth hurts. Ignorance is bliss. So when people say things like astrology is satanic, or it's against religion, it's not real science or anything, it's actually all those combined, religion, math, and science, because it is a map of the real world, and you want to stay prepared nonetheless. So, bouncing back, we are in the Pluto return, okay? Pluto returned on 2/22/22. Actually, it started on 2/20/22, and it is going on for the next 2 and some change years until Pluto moves into Aquarius. So, and that is like a 2024. So we've been living pretty much in all these extremes since 2020, when Pluto was in its last decan, like it is now, in Capricorn. Capricorn has to deal with authority, has to deal with corporations, it has to deal with government, of course, it has to deal with father figures, and Pluto has to deal with all scorpionic characteristics, 8th house characteristics. Why am I saying 12? So we're talking about extreme things, like whatever you think of Scorpio, you think of extreme, you think of intense, you think of deep thoughts, investigative. That's all Scorpio things. Power and fear, rebirth, death and rebirth, transformation, right? The whole Pluto characteristic is transformation. So you're transforming, you're using the Pluto, the planets, or where you start with first. You're using Pluto characteristics to tie into Capricorn characteristics. And then whatever house we'll get into is another story, because I'm still learning about houses, y'all. This is like my second year of doing Get a Life astrology, and I'm still learning about houses. I get it, but it's hard for me to explain it to everyone. So anyway, I'm talking about extreme. So we've been extreme for a while with Pluto and Capricorn, and now it's about to get even more extreme and more transforming and more changing now that Pluto has returned to where it was for the United States. And because the United States has its hands in every country all over the world, that is why it affects all the world, and not just the United States itself, but anything that affects the United States affects the world. Get it? So we've been living in this intense, before we talk about intense, we've been living in this privileged world for a while. We have been well fed, we've been spoiled, we've been just living well for a while. But now, because Uranus is in Taurus, Uranus is the planet of the New World, Uranus is rebellious, unique. It also has to deal with social groups, and it's in Taurus, which likes stability. Taurus is an earth sign, so it's grounded. Capricorn is an earth sign too, which Pluto is in. So these two earth signs are in these tremendously transforming planets that have had enough of the way we've been living for a while, and it's time to break down the ground, those stable units, those things that we work so hard to keep in one way for the longest time. And now anything that aspects Uranus in Taurus, which is what's going on, it's a trine going on with Pluto and Uranus, but it's not as strong. However, Saturn rules Capricorn, and Saturn is in Aquarius, which is Uranus's home sign. And Saturn is has been in that square. Square means conflict that's going to come in a result of something good later on, but it's been in that square since last January when the insurrection supposedly happened. So it's been like big groundbreaking changes with Uranus and Saturn. But we're talking about Pluto. But see how all the planets have a lot to deal with each other. And it's not just the sun, like the sun is in Pisces right now. It's not just the sun. All those other planets are giving other energies in other positions, in other characteristics, which is why things are the way they are. That is the true map of life. I've talked for 7 minutes almost about all this. I just want to tie this in, and then we're going to get quickly through the first 3 days of the week because I did not have a chance to do the rest. I'm going to do Monday, which was yesterday, today, and Wednesday. But one other thing I want to talk about with extremes tied into the Uranus and Saturn, the Saturn-Uranus square, the Uranus and Taurus, and anything Uranus is aspecting with being in Taurus. This is like highs and lows, you know, and Pluto as well. Yin and yang, this may be hard to live through, but transformation must happen, right? Transformation must happen. It happens every so often with everyone, individually and collectively. There are going to be extremes, like there have been extremes like ice storms. Just a few days ago we had an ice storm, and then it was warm the day before, like 60 something, and then it was an ice storm the next day and like 30 again. But these storms, like every time we have a storm, it's either beautiful at the beginning, dark in the middle, and then beautiful again at the end. There's basically the sun comes out every time there is a storm, correct? Afterwards. So go through the storm, accept the transformation, and kind of move with it. And one other thing, and I promise I will move on, is that because Uranus has to deal with stability and like home situations, or just being secure and making sure you have a home and secure in your finances and those things, one of our situations that Pluto will definitely transform with Uranus being in Taurus is that homelessness that's been going on forever. The ratio of homelessness is like either extreme, it's way off. You have wealthy people living in 10-bedroom houses and only 4 people there, and homeless people trying to find even a space on the block in LA, because I know some of us people who walk on the streets of LA can't even walk because the homeless are trying to find spaces on the sidewalk to put their tents up. So I just feel like those kind of extremes are coming to a transformation. And if you heard that, yes, the new moon is in less than 24 hours. So let's get into it. All right. Monday was yesterday, the last day of February. I'm not going to say BHM because y'all know, if y'all watch me, I'm on another level with that. But yes, Monday, the moon is in Aquarius. Still, we're, anything Aquarius is being detached, separating from. This is already the dark of the moon. We're kind of releasing all those energies from the full moon and getting ready for the new. The moon squared Uranus. Remember I said anything that's touching Uranus, aspecting Uranus, is going to give big energy. The North Node as well. The North Node is in Taurus too. This is the new world and your destiny that we're talking about So being unstable, the food shortage situation in some places, the oil prices going up, infrastructure going on, all of these issues will be here for a while, especially things in Saturn. Saturn was actually in Capricorn, Earth sign still, and Mars is in Capricorn when they were conjunct back in March of 2020 when we got on lockdown, okay? So the Saturn-Uranus energy, as well as anything that's aspecting Saturn, anything that's aspecting Uranus, is here for a minute. And we got to push through it and learn new ways. That's what Uranus is about, learning new ways to be unique and settling in not only social groups, but just settling in ourselves with our uniqueness. The moon will conjunct Mercury and Saturn. So the moon in Aquarius will conjunct Mercury in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius. So this is promises to fix things. Mercury has to deal with technology. Saturn has to deal with, the restrictions, corporations, and all that things. There was a promise to fix the Truth Social app that we all are waiting to join, some of us. And this can bring like a disruption and then a solution. So I do hear people are getting on Truth Social as of just this morning. So that might be a sign there. Rolling right into it. Tuesday, today, the moon is forward. Like I said, it's in Aquarius, so it's detached. It's not giving too much energy. It's in the dark, which means it is getting ready to just like totally release everything and move into the new cycle, which is Pisces. This is a good week, I would say, to not be on social media. I was on it all last night, but during the day I was really focused on things I needed to get done. Mars and Capricorn and Venus. Venus moves out of her shadow tomorrow. Actually, we'll get into that really quick too. But this is a good week to leave the social media alone and just really focus and give yourself a break. It's always a good week, or always a good day, or always a good hour to give yourself a break. The Pisces energy is telling you to be nicer and gentler with yourself. Know that you are conscious and you are aware and you're not victimizing yourself. None of the negative Pisces things. You're more spiritual. You're more free-flowing, more intuitive. The moon will enter in Pisces late this afternoon. I thought that was the message, but it's probably coming very soon. And when the moon is in Pisces again, you're conscious. One of the loves of my life is moon in Pisces, and you can see the mutable, you can see the change within him, because Pisces is a mutable sign. It gives that overcome, because Pisces is the last sign. It's like you overcome all of the other things that happen. And even though you can be sensitive and emotional about it, you have survived it. Pisces represents the feet. Feet carry the rest of the body. That's kind of self-explanatory to me. Pisces being the last sign is endings, release, energy. Could be escapism too, but we are sticking with the positive, the higher fish kind of energy. So the new moon is not until tomorrow, like the message just said, but it is moving into Pisces. So this energy is coming in. Great time to set intentions always. These intentions are going to be in really fertile soil. Anything Pisces is dreamy, manifestations, situations going on, so take advantage of it. And then last, we're going to do Wednesday. So I can make this really quick and not take all day to upload it. But Wednesday has a lot. Okay. Wednesday, Venus leaves shadow. This is a big deal because Venus has literally been in Capricorn since the day before my birthday, November 14th. And then that was when it went into shadow. Then it went into full retrograde on December 19th. So see how long it can be in a shadow, period, just a whole month. And then it went direct on the last day of January, the 29th. And now the second day of March. Venus will be out of her shadow again. So that's almost 4 months right there, y'all, of Venus being in Capricorn, in retrograde, and in shadow. And that's just a long time to really develop new values about structures and government and authority. And Capricorn has a lot to do with your reputation too, responsibility, your successes in this world, and you just need to start learning to recognize the successes you already have, the authority you already are in, or structures you want to break down you don't value anymore. So Venus living in shadow is a big deal. And then it'll be conjunct with Pluto and Mars later on, which is a big deal. Like right after she leaves shadow, she gets conjunct with Pluto and Mars in Capricorn. So there's a lot of Capricorn energy, there's a lot of Aquarius energy, there's a lot of Pisces energy going on right now. Mercury in Aquarius is conjunct with Saturn. This is blended energy, which is conjunction. So this is like a message. You need clarity on something. Saturn is that authority figure, so we might get a message from an authority figure. Hopefully it's time, y'all, because it's time. If you know, you know. And then it's conjunct with the Pluto return. You know what I'm saying? So it's the Pluto return energy for the next 2 years with Mars. And remember when Mars was conjunct with Saturn again, like I said, in 2020, that's when the lockdown started. So now this might be a new kind of lockdown with Mars conjunct Pluto. It's like war. We felt this conjunction last week when it was weaker, and it started now. It's really exact on Wednesday, on tomorrow. So I expect some kind of announcement from DJT, not Biden, because that's supposed to be tonight, but I'll hear about it on Facebook or whatever. Putin, somebody in that kind of authority, like, is it going to be a war or not? And whatever kind of energy you give out or what power you're letting somebody take over you comes from Pluto too. So when you are conjuncting this kind of energy, you want to know, you want to watch the anger, you want to watch your impulsivity, you want to watch how aggressive you are, but you also want to face your fears, okay? Pluto brings a lot of fears. And actually, the more you fear, that's the scary part. When you actually do something that you feared before and you realize it wasn't that scary, it's like the revelation. It's like, especially in these days where we're having so many extreme things to be fearful of, okay? But it's like going from the little boy to the werewolf, or like the little shy, meek mom, petite mom, to the super mom. It's like, as long as you gave all your power and you trusted yourself, now you see it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't so scary at all, and you got it done. And that's the easiest thing I can say about that. I'm going to go back to Mercury conjunct Saturn really quick. Message from that reality authority. So this is understanding the Aquarius stuff that's coming in the age of Aquarius, and technology and social groups, and if y'all ever heard me talk about med beds and know what med beds are, those kind of things coming in, we're about to learn more about. And it's just something, I feel like this messages that are going to come from anything in Aquarius is going to be really geared towards the next level of life. And then we have Mars conjunct with Venus. So whatever, again, that you shifted or were working hard on, or something that happened back in November when Venus went into Capricorn, now your values might have shifted. Now you see what you really want now instead of what you thought you wanted. And you're kind of over everything else. Example for me, I thought I wanted to live in Atlanta, and I'm way over that. And not only that, I was rewarded with an offer to get a house in Montgomery County, Maryland. So see how things are coming around? And I'm about to manifest a lot. Let's just keep it like that. All right, so I will be back tomorrow, especially with, I wanted to stop there because I don't know what's going to pop off tomorrow. I just know something's going to pop off. It'll probably move into Thursday. Friday's a little bit chill, so I'll definitely be back by Friday to give y'all the rest of the week. Peace. I'm TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly. Empowerment is the key, enlightening every day. This is Get a Life Astrology, growing into divine adults, loving yourself forever.